Good morning, and I hope everybody's had a fantastic weekend. Is all geared up, ready for this week. Because what is going to happen this week? Are we going to get more pumps to the upside? Are we going to get sideways action? Or are we going to get a bit of a retracement back? But obviously, we've had a great weekend. Normally, the weekends have been quite low liquidity, but actually, we've been seeing a lot over the weekend. A lot of meme coins pumping. We've got Pepe, Dog with Hat, Bonk, and naming many more. But Bitcoin hasn't been doing too bad either. So actually, this is making me think that retail are definitely coming back. But this is like the early stages. So this is really the early stages of the bull market. And if you're not hyped now, I don't know what to say. But we've always got to be prepared for any of those pullbacks coming back. But in this video today, we're just going to have a bit of a cover and see what Bitcoin is doing. But at the same time, we're going to have a look at one of my favorite tokens, as always, CRO, and looking at Crypto.com, because Crypto.com has got a lot of things happening, and a lot of some of the things I haven't really covered in the video, but there's lots potential coming, which could be a catalyst to get into that all-time high rather sooner than later, because obviously lots are going on in the crypto space. Crypto.com keeps on building, but at the moment Bitcoin is growing and getting bigger and wilder. And are we going to hit all-time high this week or in the coming weeks? Let's check it out. So we can see at the moment we've got Bitcoin sitting at around about 65,280 with a market cap of 1.28 trillion. But also, if you notice, also the total market cap is sitting at about 1.24 trillion dollars. That's for everything. But what I'm really finding interesting at the moment is looking at the total three, because total three is obviously the altcoins. And we're sitting here, look at this, we're actually making some pretty damn strong moves here. And we're coming up, if I'm getting this here, we basically came down this channel here, we've broken out with my target here, hitting around about $842 billion. And we're on the way up to that area of resistance at this point in time. So we're just basically looking at Bitcoin dominance, because as we see Bitcoin's moving up, the dominance is also gradually starting to grind up, but we're starting to come up to this resistance at around about 54. Now, if we break through that, the next resistance in my eye is around about the 60 to 62. That's obviously if Bitcoin has a big pump up to the upside and hits that all-time high. That's what I'm expecting, because one thing I am checking out, and this is from this crypto rover, we currently have no Bitcoin available. Say, he's saying here, Cash App is running out of Bitcoin. And this is what's actually really bullish, because what's happening is if you've got BlackRock and all the others who provide those ETFs are running out of Bitcoin, they can't find where else to get it, where are they going to go to? They're going to go to Bitcoin spot. And what happens with that? You start playing with the spot, it's going to pump the price up. And we could get to all-time high quicker rather than later. And that's what I'm expecting, because like I said, the great supply shock is happening, and it is going to happen, because don't forget, we've got the Bitcoin halving coming up around about mid-April, and that's where it gets cut in half. So you just got to be prepared for that, because lots of things going on. And also, like I said, we've got the Bitcoins, obviously the market's open. Markets don't open over the weekend in the traditional markets, and obviously BlackRock won't really work at the weekends either, but they're opening up in US time later on this afternoon. And is that going to be a buying session for more Bitcoin for the Bitcoin ETF? I have no doubt that they will be buying. And hopefully that grayscale selling off is slowly down. It's getting slower and slower. And also we're getting more prints from Tether as well, because last bull market, if you're here for the last bull market, you saw Tether printing these USDT. So obviously lots of exciting things going on. And like I said, are we going to get more buys coming in from BlackRock and the rest of them? And obviously, will they be coming to spot? Because obviously, if that's the case, and like I just said, that's going to pump up. And we can see here, this is where we have the buying around here. But we've just got to be mindful here. Let's get rid of that. Fear and greed. We're extreme greed, and that's this is sort of like a bit of a trigger where expect we might get a little bit of a pullback. You've always got to bear that in mind. We can always see these green candles, but every time we get these big impulse moves up, we could get like a little bit of a pullback. But obviously, we're extreme greed, so just be prepared for that. So without further ado, let's go and check out what's happening with CRO. So CRO, as I've said, in the last video and the videos before that and before that and before that. I am extra bullish, super bullish on CRO, but I'm also super bullish on Crypto.com as well. But looking at the price action at the moment for CRO, we can see here we're sitting at a not a measly 14 pence. So we're actually climbing up. We had a bit of a dip come down, but now we're starting to climb up again. And we can see here, this is on the weekly chart, CRO USDT. We're coming up to that little bit of resistance, what I mentioned in the last video. We're coming up to around about that 15, 16 pence. Now, simple. We break this and we're going up to the upside. But do not forget also, as Bitcoin hits all-time high, tapers off, goes a little bit sideways, dominance in Bitcoin comes down, Altseason is going to go full blown. Because at the moment, yeah, we're getting a lot of like alts popping off. We've got CRO popping off. We've got a lot of the meme coins popping off. But we're not even at the beginning, really, of Altseason. When you're here for the last bull market, you can remember what was happening then. Everything was exploding. And if you're a bear right now, I won't be a bear right now, because you're getting absolutely, if you're trading short term and you're leveraged, you're getting absolutely obliterated. And I won't be shorted at any point right now, because if Bitcoin starts buying today and they start doing it over, you know, obviously on the on spot, forget that. But we're looking at CRO. But CRO at the moment, coming up to that bit of resistance here. We've been sitting around here. I'm expecting Bitcoin makes moves. We're going to blast through that. And obviously through this point in time, there is absolutely nothing in this space here. It's just basically emptiness. So we could easily just projectile straight back up to there and get to that 50 pence. Now, if we get to that 50 pence, I'm going to be a very happy person. But obviously, it's what's going to happen. What could actually trigger that off? Obviously, Bitcoin going off the all-time high. But if we get some news of Crypto.com, Crypto.com, as I mentioned on a number of videos before that, have applied to Hong Kong for their license because it has to. Because if they get that license before even any of the other exchanges, because don't forget, Crypto.com have just been absolutely non-stop in getting these licenses over the bear market. And they're in places like Canada, which is really difficult to get. If they get this license, because don't forget, if you come to Hong Kong, there's only two companies. There's OSL here and Hash Blockchain Limited, which are basically you can use to trade Bitcoin and various other cryptos. But obviously, if we can see right down here, this little bit here, and it says Crypto.com, we're just going to explode. And that's all I'm going to say. We're going to explode. But also, do not forget, if Crypto.com could get in the US as an exchange, that is another catalyst for an explosion too. So you just got to bear that in mind. Lots of things can happen. But also other things as well we can bear in mind. If we can get Cronos, market, TVL back to 1 billion, that's going to be another catalyst. Higher Visa card rewards, more catalyst. Higher staking, APY, more bullish. And then obviously if we get more burns on CRO and things like that, that's other extra catalyst. But the big one for me is the US exchange. If we can get back in there, because don't forget, over the bear market, we pulled back from the US, but obviously if we can get back in the US, that's going to bring more liquidity in. Good for business for Crypto.com, good for business for CRO. But also, if we can get into Hong Kong as well as an exchange, that is going to be another catalyst too. But also, do not forget, going back to the charts on here, Bitcoin, CRO versus Bitcoin. So we can see here on this is on the weekly again. We just have that downtrended. But look at this here. This is what I'm finding extremely. I'm watching this point here. We've actually started to break the trend. So hopefully the trend is going to go up. But don't forget, at the moment, it's Bitcoin's time, because Bitcoin wants to get to that all-time high. So we're just going to probably chop around about this area here. Then as soon as altcoin season and Bitcoin starts just tapering off a little bit, that dominance comes up, I'm expecting we're going to start making moves to the upside. So extremely bullish on Crypto.com, extremely bullish on CRO. So if you like these type of videos, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a subscribe. It's always much appreciated, because all your support really does help the channel. And also, if you don't like what I'm doing, you're not really into it, give us a thumbs down, hit another thumbs down. It all helps out with the algorithm. It all gets the channel out there. So all that support is going to be absolutely much appreciated. So without further ado, I'll see you soon in the next video. Take care.